Hey, Drew Dixon from Love Thy Nerd here, and I'm here with Isaac Vega. He is the creator, designer of Starship Samurai and some other games, right?
Yeah, I've designed Dead of Winter, Ashes, and the latest release is Neon Gods.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I forgot Neon Gods is you. So you've done quite a bit in the industry. How did you get into making games?
So I came back from college after dropping out, and all my friends that I played like Magic and the Dragon Ball Z card game with in high school had moved on to board games, and they introduced me into that world. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I enjoy it so much. Let me try to make one. And lo and behold, my mom randomly met someone who was starting a board game company at church and told me about it. And I went to go and meet with him, showed him some of my games. Eventually he liked one that I created and signed it. And since then, I've been working with Plaid Hat Games ever since.
Wow.
So it's been about 8 years since I've been a part of the industry.
Yeah. What a cool story.
Yeah, I really enjoy being part of the industry. It's really been like a new home for me, and I love making games. I still love it, and I'm surprised I still love it. It's the only job I've ever felt like this about.
Right, yeah. I know we talked to a lot of creators who, I mean, this is a hard industry to get into, I think, now than maybe it used to be. There's a lot more competition now. Well, I'd just be curious if you have advice for people, because obviously you've had a lot of success in this industry, like for people who are just getting started.
I think the best advice is that keep making prototypes, get those things in front of other gamers, and play. The best thing to do is to fail and learn to fail quickly and understand what makes people enjoy your games. If everybody at the table is smiling and laughing and having a good time with each other, you're doing something right. So keep trying to get that feeling, and you're gonna be able to succeed.
That's great. So tell me a little bit about Starship Samurai, which we're standing in front of here.
Yeah, so Starship Samurai is an area control game. You are playing as one of these large factions in the Lotus Galaxy, and each of you get to draft 2 giant samurai mechs in order to try to claim the throne of the Lotus Galaxy. You're going to be taking over different locations, and every time you claim a location, you'll be gaining victory points. You'll be using, and then you'll go ahead and use the different abilities and the action cards that you gain throughout the game in order to try to claim as many victory points as possible. What's really neat about the game is that every single turn, you have one of 4 different types of tokens that are numbered 1 through 4, and you get to choose one of those tokens, and they amplify the action depending on the number. So let's say you want to move units. Do you want to move 2 units, or do you want to move 4 units? You have to go ahead and choose which token you're going to utilize, but after you use that token, you no longer have that number in order to use it for any of the other actions that you have available to you. So it's a really fun little puzzle, and it plays in about 90 minutes. It's a really quick area control game.
Cool. And then Neon Gods, your latest one, give us a quick pitch on that.
Neon Gods is also an area control game, but what's cool about this one is that you're playing like in a kind of 80s version of the future world. So you're all these gangs, and you're building up your gangs in this kind of deck building type of mechanic, and you're trying to take over different parts of the city by building different areas that you're trying to hold down, and utilizing your different gang members. Every single gang member that you draft is absolutely unique. So they all have different abilities that you can go ahead and utilize. The game is really simple, also really fun. You can play it within 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Nice. And if you had to narrow down to one thing that you hope players gain from their time playing the games that you make, what would it be?
So for me, I love making worlds in a box. And what I want players to gather is a memory. Like, that is my biggest hope, that players walk away making a memory, either making new friends, either making some sort of event or action that happened in the game that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. I want people to just be brought together by my games and be able to see something that, like, oh man, that was so awesome. I remember when this happened, and just remember that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. What would you say to someone maybe out there who's like coming across this video and just not into board games? Like, why should people play board games?
I think that in this world, the way things are right now, there's so many opportunities for us to disconnect from other people. We're always, on our phones. We're always looking at screens. Board games are such an amazing way to connect with other human beings, because it's just you guys, a table, and some cardboard, and you're kind of forced to interact with people. And there is a board game for every single human being. If you look at this hall and the amount of things that are going on, there are thousands of board games, and I think people really don't understand that. There are thousands and thousands of board games that you guys can try out and enjoy, and there is definitely something for you. So get out there, try it out, have some fun, and enjoy the people around you.
Yeah, and put your phone in another room or somewhere where it won't bother you and engage that.
Yeah, and if you love your phone, there's some board games that use apps and utilize phones as well. So there's an entire world out there. So try it out. You will find a board game you love. I promise you.
Last question I like to ask designers is, why do you make games? What drives you to do this?
Well, this community is, like I said, a second family to me. I have made some of the best friends that I could ever have hoped for in my entire life. I am always reinvigorated when I come to one of these shows, when I'm able to see my product in the front of other people, them enjoying it. I've had the wonderful opportunities to travel around the world with this job and to see how something that I made that is put in a box is able to affect someone all across the world. And that just means so much to me, and I want to keep being able to give that to people, and that has been giving me so much joy throughout my life, and I want to just continue it.
That's great. Well, Starship Samurai looks great, and excited to try out Neon Gods as well. Thanks so much, Isaac. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Drew. I appreciate it.
Yeah.